This is a vital update about coronavirus.
You must stay at home.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus?
Agony in Europe tonight as Italy's death toll passes 10,000.
Its highest number of new infections in weeks.
As the coronavirus spreads
More than 1.7 million cases.
Seen at a grocery store where toilet paper has been in high demand.
Coronavirus.
crisis, COVID-19,
Isolating.
Coronavirus.
Quarantine for coronavirus.
Never been before seen a pandemic sparked by a coronavirus.
We are Una Studio, a future studio striving in creative thinking and problem solving. Our ethos derives itself from the word una, translating as together in Latin and one in Italian, reflecting our ideology that we exist together whilst physically apart. We encompass adaptivity, exploration, and progression, reflecting both our creative agenda and the audience we strive to embody. For our research, we focused on Gen Z, interviewing a diverse range of young people from key workers to freelance creatives. We also spoke to people abroad to get varying perspectives on the current situation and their feelings, in turn removing personal bias from our findings. Primary sources included Instagram polls, which had a collective reach of 907 Gen Z consumers. 90% of these consumers felt there would be long-term change post-lockdown, whilst 91% felt this period had made them value communication more. 84% of Gen Z respondents were looking for ways to distract themselves from the banality of isolation. We also conducted focus groups and interviews, which we then coded to identify commonalities.
We need to find new ways to gain fresh inspiration. There are many more brands and museums starting to have online exhibitions, and lots of online resources have opened up for students. It's really exciting.
The fashion industry was moving way too fast, and it's now being forced to change for the good.
In addition to this, we used online resources such as webinars, trend reports, and academic articles, which informed our insight and foresight. From this research, we concluded that both industry professionals and the average consumer did not think that the industry could return to a pre-pandemic normal. This new future will be defined by technological advancements and innovation, assisting connection on both a global and local scale. Generation Z refers to those born between 1997 and 2012, aged from 8 to 23. They are an autonomous and self-reliant generation seeking their own socio-political views, relying less on their parents than the previous generation. They grew up in a time of economic turbulence and social unrest, resulting in a resilient nature. The advancement of technology created a generation of digital natives with increased technical fluency. This turbulent social landscape has allowed for a multifaceted generation that are unique and highly educated. Goal-oriented and resourceful, they are entrepreneurial and looking for ways to constantly adapt and progress their careers. Living with a range of digital platforms, Gen Z are increasingly connected not only locally but globally. This connection is emphasised and contextualised by the nature of physical isolation. Meet Olivia, our Gen Z avatar we created to fully understand the consumer, their personal values and their feelings towards this period of time.
Hey, I'm Olivia. I'm 21 and I live, work and attend uni in London. I like to follow trends but maintain a strong personal aesthetic that fits into wider popular culture. I'm inspired by a range of sources including cultural intermediaries online, publications and both global and local street style. I also try to live an environmentally conscious life. I enjoy socialising, but I understand the value of hard work in order to succeed. I recognise the importance of self-care to maintain a happy work-life balance. I am tech-forward and keen to learn new skills in order to keep up with the ever-changing digital landscape. I support the increasing opposition of the fast fashion model and like to attend discussions from activists and industry experts. I make a conscious effort to widen my knowledge and cultural understanding. I volunteer at Fashion Week to gain knowledge from my peers and regularly attend industry parties in order to network. In isolation, I'm using digital platforms to connect with my friends, using applications such as FaceTime as I realise the importance of connection to maintain my mental well-being. I actively watch Instagram Lives and industry webinars from the likes of Business of Fashion in order to engage with the creative industry. I have recently ordered a Nintendo Switch as I enjoy being able to log into a different world that I am able to control and connect with my friends in a different environment.
With major events cancelling across the globe, Fortnite and Travis Scott invited their audiences to an immersive in-game digital tour called Astronomical. Astronomical attracted gamers, music fans and creatives. The music event, combined with Fortnite's metaverse, served as a distraction from both the isolation and uncertainty felt by Gen Z during COVID-19. The introduction of these virtual environments will breathe new life into a brand's digital presence, providing alternate outlets for their customers. The tourism industry is combating the effects of COVID-19 by engaging with audiences digitally. The Valentino Museum is now providing 360-degree virtual tours. Using real-time 3D technology, users are able to examine over 5 decades of fashion history, allowing engagement with arts and culture from home. Without large crowds, these digital tours allow users to engage with art at their own pace, removing any obstacles that once made accessibility limited, providing a fully inclusive space. COVID-19 has disrupted not only daily life but also nightlife. While most professional routines have adjusted to working from home, the events industry is struggling to adapt. Clubs have always provided a vital space for connection and pleasure. Looking to emulate this, Resident Advisor offers their website as a venue for people to interact with each other virtually in club quarantine. The digitalisation of clubs creates an escape easily accessible to all. The future of nightlife will merge the physical and digital, providing a safe space, both now and after lockdown ends. We created our hindsight in light of the primary and secondary research that we conducted around Gen Z's response to this period. From this, we gathered an understanding of the values of Gen Z and their experience of the COVID-19 pandemic. We concluded that the upbringing of Gen Z amongst a climate of socio and economic turbulence has informed a robust and optimistic attitude in light of serious issues. Driven by the turbulent socio-economic climate throughout their adolescence, Gen Z's adaptable nature has become accustomed to dealing with serious issues through optimistic outlooks, a coping mechanism in the face of uncertain realities for their future. The sudden shift into isolation has meant that people are seeking diversion in this time of uncertainty. As reality has changed, so has the context by which we escape. Our lives are increasingly defined by isolation, and as a result, our desire to escape is driven by our human needs for connection and belonging. Typically something that had solitary connotations, escapism now exists in human connections and community. Bloomler and Katz's uses and gratification theory outlines the 5 primary uses of an audience when engaging with any media text. We believe that our insight addresses each of these needs with attention on audiences' need for diversion as an escape from the overwhelming surveillance usage in this period, highlighting attention that formulates the backbone of our insight. Additionally, Maslow's hierarchy of needs demonstrates how belonging and safety function as some of our most basic human needs. Throughout isolation, there is an increased emphasis on a most basic need of safety and belonging, and notions of esteem and self-actualization are becoming less important. This highlights the value shift that acts within our insight and accelerates our sense and use of community at this time. For our foresight, we focused on determining how our insight could materialise in light of the acceleration our industry is facing. COVID-19 is already probing discussions around the future of our industry. The way that we communicate will change, and the traditional practices of the industry will be disrupted indefinitely. In this new future where social distancing is ingrained into social behaviour, there will be a shift in what it means to escape. Designer Jonathan Anderson said, "Fashion has the capacity to get you to a different reality. Sometimes escapism is good. Sometimes the best art is escapism." The coronavirus has disrupted normality, resulting in a confined reality in which there is need for escape. There is opportunity for new experiences of escapism through human connection. This could be realised through creating digital spaces to emulate the tangible aspects of fashion, therefore narrowing the disparity between physical and digital interaction.